Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now on 97.3 The Fan is the CEO and founder of Finlete, Rob Connolly. And Rob, obviously you keep some questionable company in Mark Grant, so that's strike one.
Yeah,
but
strike
we'll,
one there.
We'll give you a fair chance anyway. Good morning. Welcome to Ben & Woods.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
It's our pleasure, man. It's such an interesting concept. And I wanted to have you give our audience kind of the 30,000-foot view.
Yeah, I mean, we're a platform that allows fans to, participate in the future earnings of promising athletes.
And yeah, and that's it. I mean, and so we talked earlier about what was the company before?
Big League Advance.
Big League Advance. And I talked to Mudd about that too. And you know, that to me felt a bit predatory. This is different. Why is this different than something like Big League Advance?
Yeah, I mean, the big difference between us is they're a private hedge fund, right? So, I tried to be a part of that group before, and their minimum investment's $5 million at the time. So I thought to myself, like, what a huge missed opportunity for fans to be able to participate in these athletes if they had the chance. So we put together an investment team with, Comcast NBC, Tim Draper through Draper Startup House, and a bunch of angel investors in San Diego. And we went on this path. We hired a security lawyer, and we wanted to find a way to allow fans to be able to invest in promising athletes through Finlete.
It's interesting.
And so how this works is Shettery signed for $10,000. Right. And
that doesn't go very far. That does not go very far for a minor league baseball player.
Exactly. And then, I want to be careful because I don't want to, make his proud family look bad, but he really doesn't have any resources.
Sure.
Like, it's terrible. So here's the number 7 prospect for the Rangers, and we're watching him practice on the off field, and he's playing in dirt fields that you'd see on a JV high school team. So we wanted to find a way to give fans to help him focus on baseball year round, to maximize his potential, and then give fans, an opportunity to share in his journey and create a community around him to support him.
And it's funny because we already have people in chat saying, "Can you get Ethan Salas? Because we'd be happy to invest in Ethan Salas."
For $5 million, so he's probably doing okay.
He signed for $5 million. So if I invest, I mean, what I don't need to know like what his cut is or anything like that, but he benefits from our investment. How?
Yeah, so every dollar that goes through, a majority of it goes to him. He's getting $500,000, which was over double what BLA offered him.
Wow.
And he's able to use that capital to help his family, get training year round, hire a nutritionist, and give him the best chance to make the big leagues.
So let's, Rob Connolly is with us, the CEO and founder of Finlete. Let's go through the scenarios. First of all, obviously with any investment comes some risk. If he does not make it big, never signs a big contract, you're probably not getting any return or your investment back. But then conversely, if he goes on and has a big league career and ends up signing one of these 9-figure deals, what would like an investor expect to receive 10, 15 years down the line?
Yeah, so let me give you a couple examples. Let's say he becomes Jurickson Profar, right? He was the #1 prospect 2014.
Yep.
Probably hasn't lived up to his potential. If you would have invested $500, you would get $3,231.
Not too bad
for a guy who has not made huge money in his career, right. But as a big leaguer, money, yeah. He's made the big leagues, made a few million for himself. There is a return on that investment.
And let's bring up like Francisco Lindor. Let's pretend he turns into that. If you invest $500 into that deal, your return's $17,900.
It's a pretty good deal. I rarely get on anything on the ground floor, so this is interesting to me. Talking to Rob Connolly, CEO of Finlete. So I know on your website, people can check it out if they want at finlete.com, and it's got looks pretty user friendly on how to invest and things like that. But I will say, man, I was able to pull Mudd aside at spring training and chat with him a little bit about it. Again, Mud is like the most cautious, careful dude alive, and honestly, it went a long way with me. Like if Mud buys into this, and he has, it made me feel a little bit better of going, yeah, okay, this feels really, really legit to me. If Mud Grant, who is very, very cautious, buys in, what has he been helping you guys with?
Really, with just relationships. I mean, talking to people about what we're doing, explaining that we are legit.
That's what he said. Lawyers
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Comcast, NBC as on your cap table, you have to do everything perfectly right. You can't cut corners.
So, Rob, as you go forward, what are your prospects of adding more minor league athletes? Is it only going to be baseball? Are you going to be looking at other sports? What's the growth plan look like?
Yeah, we want to dominate baseball in the beginning, but we definitely want to expand in other sports. I mean, there's not a sport we don't feel that we can't touch globally.
I think part of it is, you have fun with your investment and watching your investment. You can follow, the minor leagues, the box scores, see how he's performing.
Yeah,
you can cheer for him to get called up to the big leagues and have a big league career. I think the important thing is obviously knowing that this is, clear like any investment. There's no guaranteed sure thing, but this is, I think for a sports fan, there's obviously some appeal here, Rob.
That's why it's interesting to me because, like I said, I feel like I never get in on the ground floor thing. So tell us a little bit about this kid, man, and how difficult was it to get him to say, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's do this."
We were on a flight within 4 hours to the Dominican after we got the green light. Like we went down to the airport with a credit card saying, "Book me a flight right now."
100%.
Old school. So, hey, Ashedri Vargas signed for 10,000. Wasn't expected to be much. He had different plans his first year. Dominican Summer League, batted 301 with a 131 WRC plus. Got challenged at Complex League the next year as a 17-year-old. Did even better, 315 average, 131 WRC plus. Keith Law just came out with an article saying that he's his biggest sleeper for the Rangers organization. Teams have been wanting to trade for him, and it's an exciting time for him as an athlete and all the investors that want to participate in this.
So, Rob, before we let you go, there are obviously in our chat, I see people are intrigued. How does it work in terms? Is it like an app or a website? What do you do if you're interested in going and being a part of this?
All you have to do is go to finlete.com.
Well, Rob, appreciate you spending some time with us.
It's interesting stuff, man. Really, yeah. And somebody said in the chat too. There's plenty of guys that are on deals like this already, not exactly available to the public. That's what makes this a little bit different, and it gives you that rooting interest in watching this guy's career. So, pretty interesting stuff, man. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Rob Connolly, CEO, founder of Finlete, and again, we're not endorsing. Not paid. I don't know that it's something I will do, but you seem kind of interested in it. Just Mud brought it up, and we thought, okay, this is a intriguing concept, and honestly, it's kind of the way things are going. Now, I'll point out the other way. There's GoFundMe's where you're not getting anything back. You're just
Correct.
like, hey,
That's just a donation.
Let's just donate $20 toward this kid and see if he can help make the big leagues, and people will raise money that way. This has a potential payoff at the end, and it would come out of his money. But my guess is if Ashedri Vargas makes it big, it's not going to be. He's going to be happy. He's still making a lot of money, and he'll pay back. Sounds in the investment, down the line, what he would make in his big league career.
Yeah, and it sounds different to me than the one we talked about earlier. Certainly, because like Fernando's gonna be paying that off for a long, long time. Yeah. This feels a little bit different to me. I don't know. I'm gonna do some more research on it and take a look. But it certainly is an interesting concept as far as helping minor leaguers. And they gave kind of a breakdown of expenses and stuff for these minor league players, and it's pretty nuts to see. I mean, like equipment, in and of itself in 24, you're talking $3,000 or so just on cleats and gloves and sunglasses, things like that, things that these guys absolutely need. A nutritionist is expensive, a car, to get around.
Yeah, we've heard the horror stories of guys
sleeping
in the
in
minor
cars
leagues
and whatnot.
that, you have to share, 6 guys sharing a room somewhere, and that the meals are fast food or worse. Just a slice of bread and some peanut butter before the game
Yeah.
is all they have because they can't afford it because they're not making much as a minor leaguer. And if they didn't get drafted in the first round or two and sign one of those big bonus deals, or weren't one of the top international prospects who signed a big bonus like Ethan Salas, that signing bonus is, as you said, might just be a couple $1,000,
Yeah.
$10,000. That goes nowhere nowadays. I mean, that doesn't cover 4 or 5 months of rent somewhere. And you've got to figure out how to survive on that and a very meager minor league salary at that point,
while trying to advance and
Right.
stay healthy and compete and find a way to get all that stuff. It's there's a lot that goes into it, man. Certainly.
Fascinating concept.
It is. The website is finlete.com, Finlete. People asking in the chat, I believe.
All right. Well, we learn something new every day.
Every day.
And that was an interesting conversation here on a Friday. All right, we're already at 2
I
hours
like
in.
interesting
I
conversation.
like
too.
interesting conversations also.
We all do.